A catastrophic bridge collapse in the city of Baltimore has many asking, was this a black swan event we were warned about? We're going to look at the latest surrounding the collapse and the concerns that this may indeed have been orchestrated. And then
we need to be clear-eyed about the implications of it. Difficult times make for difficult decisions. We are contending with something we've never had to contend with before.
Rachel Maddow and the ultra-leftists over at MSNBC are going through a total and complete meltdown. You're going to absolutely love the reason why. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane during these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Shocking images coming from the city of Baltimore this morning. A 950-foot cargo ship from Singapore left Baltimore's secret marine terminal at approximately 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. About an hour later, around 1:25 a.m., the ship began to slow and divert away from its course. As you can see, the video indicates some kind of power outage with the lights going off on board. Then they turn back on, only to go off again. All the smoke can be seen coming out from the top of the ship. And then, of course, it rammed into the bridge, causing it to catastrophically collapse. As of the making of this video, there were reports of 2 people being rescued alive, but as many as possibly 20 remain unaccounted for. Now, obviously, this is radically devastating for the city of Baltimore. I lived in Baltimore for nearly 10 years. I went to school there. I met my wife there. My eldest child was born there. Baltimore is very near and dear to my heart. And this bridge collapse is absolutely devastating to the city. It's rightly being called a catastrophic event, particularly for the commuter-based infrastructure connecting the city to the wider Baltimore County. The governor of Maryland, of course, has declared a state of emergency. But the bizarre behavior of the cargo ship prior to running into the bridge has many asking this morning, was this incident in Baltimore an actual deliberate black swan event? A black swan event is an unexpected, in many ways, an unimaginable incident that suddenly occurs. And here's the key. The event has a significant or even devastating impact on society. Now, the reason why this is coming up is because people like General Mike Flynn have been out there warning about the inevitability and imminence of a black swan event for weeks now.
But mark my words, these are everything that you just talked about, and the things that I'm going to talk about here in this movie shortly. These are all knowable things. Okay, these are things that we know. These are the things that we can imagine. What these people are going to try to come up with, Benny, and this is for your audience and for your ability to influence. They're going to try to come up with things that are unknowable. And and in the world of military operations, or even in the world of just things, we call them black swan events, right? Black swan events are things that nobody imagined could occur, and yet they did, right? And then they have these incredibly, mostly devastating effects. So I think that's what we have got to be thinking about. And I think as we talk to our audiences and we look for feedback from different people, all of these things, and then we have to be prepared on our side. We have to be prepared to immediately respond to these scenarios, right? Like, I think a scenario is these people just decide, look, there's no way in the world that they can win a legitimate, fair election, so let's not have one. So in order to not have one, how do they create the conditions in order to not have an election? Now, that's a scenario. It's not a scenario that I want to have as an outcome, but that is a scenario that I can imagine.
So there you have it. Biden cannot win this election legitimately. His polls are an absolute free fall. We'll talk about that in our second video today. His polls are falling apart despite the best hopes of the legacy media. He can't win. And so according to this theory, they need to orchestrate a black swan event either to alter the election results or even possibly cancel the election. Now, it didn't take long before black swan accusations began to get hurled in Baltimore's direction. General Flynn himself posted this morning on X saying, quote, "This is a black swan event. Black swans normally come out of the world of finance, not military. The standard operating procedures for all U.S. ports, harbors, and bays that transit commerce and military activities are supposed to maintain an incredible level of discipline, rigor, and awareness for these very type of events to not occur ever. Yet here we are. There are harbor masters for every single one of these transit points in America. that are in charge of assuring the safety of navigation start there. Andrew Tate went so far as to claim that the ship was cyber-attacked by foreign agents. Now, how he could possibly know that, I have no idea. If we overlap this with Flynn's assessment, why do they have to be foreign, right? Others have noted that it's hardly coincidental that the bridge that was brought down was named after the author of our national anthem, Francis Scott Key. For me at this point, gang, I don't quite see the level of evidence needed to blame this on a Black Swan event. The simple fact of the matter is, as President Trump himself pointed out a couple of years back, Baltimore, I'm sad to say, is a rather obviously imploding, devastated city. Trump called it a, quote, disgusting rat and rodent-infested mess where no human being would want to live. Baltimore's infrastructure has been eroding for decades now, crumbling, in fact, and I think we can chalk up what happened this morning to precisely that. Baltimore is one of a number of Democrat-run cities that are literally imploding as we speak, and I think this tragedy is an unfortunately dramatic instance of this Democrat-led societal debilitation. So what do you think, gang? Was it a Black Swan event? Let us know in the comments section below. Hey, gang, as you know, our founding fathers created the American Constitution for the very purpose that our rights as citizens would be protected at the fundamental level. Over these past few years, however, we've directly witnessed the growing threats posed to those rights. To fight back against this creep against our freedoms, I've partnered with a group of amazing patriots who have formed the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC, as it's known, is America's leading senior advocacy and benefits organization and acts as a conservative, patriotic alternative to the AARP. AMAC, on top of being a proud Turley Talk sponsor today's video, pays attention to the voices of their members and champions patriot concerns on Capitol Hill. AMAC provides its members with top-notch insurance and travel benefits, as well as numerous other services, all without the big government agenda of the AARP. Just click on that link below right now to join. Membership is immensely affordable and provides you with superior benefits and a community of over 2 million members just like you who are dedicated to preserving our traditional American values. Between Biden's stagflation, the open border, and the disastrous situation brewing overseas, I think it's safe to say mainstream Washington advocacy groups are not putting your interests first. But click on that link below right now, and you can help bring that travesty to an end. Join AMAC today and help save our great nation. Click on that link or visit amac.us/Turley and choose the right plan for you and, most importantly, for our nation. As many of you know, ex-RNC Chairman Ronna McDaniel was just hired to be a contributor at NBC, which many of us predicted. This is typical of establishment Republicans getting gigs on legacy media outlets where they're paid to bash their party. We've seen it in the likes of other Republican hacks like Ana Navarro and Michael Steele and Jonah Goldberg. And yet, when it comes to Ronna McDaniel, the ultra-leftists over at MSNBC are having what's nothing short of a total and complete unhinged meltdown.
Hiring a former RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel.
Well, she was on Sunday's Meet the Press. It was her first appearance since NBC News hired her as a political analyst. I know you won't be surprised to know that we've been inundated with calls this weekend, as have most people connected with this network, about NBC's decision to hire her. We learned about the hiring when we read about it in the press on Friday. We weren't asked our opinion of the hiring, but if we were, we would have strongly objected to it for several reasons, including, but not limited to, as lawyers might say, Ms. McDaniel's role in Donald Trump's fake elector scheme and her pressuring election officials to not certify election results while Donald Trump was on the phone.
But part of our resilience as a democracy is going to be recognizing when decisions are bad ones and reversing those bad decisions. Hearing legitimate criticism, responding to it, and correcting course. Not digging in, not blaming others. Take a minute. Acknowledge that maybe it wasn't the right call. It is a sign of strength, not weakness, to acknowledge when you are wrong. It is a sign of strength. And our country needs us to be strong right now.
Good, Rachel. Why don't we start with you? Are you ready to acknowledge how wrong you were with the Russian collusion hoax that you peddled 7 days a week on MSNBC? It'll make you stronger. Are you ready to acknowledge how wrong you were about COVID and the vaccines? Or about Hunter Biden's laptop being Russian disinformation? It'll make you stronger. Heal thyself, physician. So what are these ultra-leftists at MSNBC all having a meltdown over? Well, Scott Adams said it best. They're having a meltdown over another one of their pathetic hoaxes getting exposed. The NBC bosses have, by their hiring actions, by their hiring Ronna McDaniel, the NBC bosses have admitted that they don't buy their own network's lies about January 6th. They believe the former RNC spokesperson to be a legitimate political analyst, not a co-participant in an insurrection. This is a total and complete repudiation of the woke trash that passes as political analysis and reporting on MSNBC. And so now all of these people, Maddow, Scarborough, they all look like a bunch of hypnotized dopes as they try to save face after their bosses just hired the very person that they've been tirelessly demonizing over the last 3.5 years. Again, as Scott Adams brilliantly put it, quote, "What you're seeing is MSNBC management being clear-eyed about what they are, propagandists, while their on-air hosts are being humiliated into cognitive dissonance in front of us because they thought they were the good guys." Just another day in the loony bin we all know as MSNBC. Gang, have you always wanted to explore historical cities with a group of courageous patriots? Well, now is your chance to embark on an exclusive adventure with me, Dr. Steve, and other patriots like you as we set sail on the Mediterranean. You're invited to join us this August on Royal Caribbean's luxury liner, the Voyager of the Seas. You get to spend time with me and other like-minded patriots during live onboard classes as we dive into topics like the rising parallel economy, the culture wars, and how you can share my optimism in a conservative renewal. We'll discover enchanting architecture, timeless artistry, and breathtaking experiences as we adventure through Spain, France, and Italy. Enjoy incredible dining experiences, enriching education, and once-in-a-lifetime attractions each day of our journey. It'll be a summer you'll never forget. Join me and your fellow patriots August 5th to 12th, 2024 for this unparalleled adventure. If you want more information, I want to take part in our last-minute pricing sale. My team is waiting to talk to you right now. There are only a handful of cabins left, so don't wait. Click on that link below or go to cruiseinfo.turleytalks.com to learn more. This is going to be absolutely an unforgettable trip, and I can't wait to spend it with you. Click on that link below right now.